How do you get free accommodation anywhere in the world you are traveling to? And is it safe to use couchsurfing as a platform to do so? All you need to know about this platform coming up. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Globster. If you are new to this channel or do not know me, my name is Alankar and I run this channel The Globster, where I upload a travel video every week, including tips and travel hacks which can help you to bring out the most of your holidays and vacations. So if you like this video, consider subscribing. Right now I am here at the Colombo Fort railway station in order to go to Kandy to meet my couchsurfing host Michael, and this is the train that is going to take me to Kandy. And in this video I will specifically talk about a platform, an app which you can use to get free accommodation wherever in the world you go at any point of time. And this is the platform that I have been using currently in this Sri Lanka trip, and I'm simply loving it. So as I said that my channel is all about providing travel tips and hacks. This is one travel tip which you can use and can bring down your travel expenses to a great extent. The name of this platform is couchsurfing. You might or might not have heard of it. So in this video I will be explaining what this platform is and how exactly to use it. So if you want to know more about it, make sure you watch this entire video. So whom is this app actually meant for? It's meant for people who are backpackers like me, or even those who are full-time travelers, because as you know, for a full-time traveler it is very important to know how they can manage their finances so that they can save a lot of money during their travels. And this is one of the most widely used platforms by full-time travelers, and also by a lot of other people who are traveling to foreign countries solo or with one or two friends. So before coming to Sri Lanka, whoever I told about this app asked me just one basic question, that why do these people, those who are couchsurfing hosts, actually invite guests and allow them to stay at their place free of cost? What do they really get out of it? Because they are not taking any money. So where is the value that they are getting out of giving free accommodation to travelers around the world? So I'll come to this question and I'll answer more when I reach Kandy. See you. I have finally arrived in Kandy after a 2.5-hour train journey. It was a beautiful ride indeed. And before going into the topic of couchsurfing again, I would like to tell you guys, if you want to come to Kandy from Colombo, you have to take a train from the Colombo Fort railway station, and there are three seating options for you. One is the first class, also called the observation class, where there are two sets of windows, one beside you and another in front. So the viewing experience is more in observation class, but what happens is you can't really open the windows, and also the doors are not accessible for you. So I would suggest it's best to book a second class ticket like I did, and you will find a seat for yourself, and also you can go near the door, get that fresh air standing at the doorsteps. You will always see such kind of footages and videos on YouTube whenever it comes to train journeys in Sri Lanka, because the speed of the train is not that high, so you can actually go and stand at the doorsteps and enjoy your train ride. So coming back to where I left off on this topic of couchsurfing, why do these people actually allow other guests to come from other places to stay in their homes, and that too free of cost? What value do they get? So let me tell you that most of these people who are hosts on couchsurfing use this platform themselves while they are traveling abroad in different countries. So they know exactly how important it is to help other travelers coming from around the world to give them accommodation that too free of cost, because they have got value out of this platform by using it. So it's like they also want to share the same and help others out. For example, right now I am using this platform couchsurfing here in Sri Lanka, and if I ever settle down, if I ever have a home, most probably I will also become a host on this platform and invite other tourists around the world to come to my place, because I know exactly how important this is for me and how beneficial it was in this trip for me to save on my expenses as well as have a good time. And besides being free of cost, of course, being free of cost accommodation is one of the main reasons why people choose couchsurfing. But besides all that, the experience that you share with the host that you stay with, that is unparalleled. That you will never get in a hotel room. In a hotel, it will just be like you go there and stay for a night or two, or in a single or double room, depending upon your preferences. But here you get to stay at the place at the homes of your host, and you get to share the local culture, the knowledge about the local places, the history of the country, and also a lot of other experiences which is going to be there in a memory for a long time. So this is what travelers look for. Apart from visiting places, the memories that they make, that is very important to them. For example, yesterday I was staying at Ruwan's place, and after I got fresh and all after coming back, and then after dinner we were having a chat together. So he was telling me all about his expeditions to foreign countries, like he went to China and Netherlands and many more countries, but especially we talked about his experience in China. He rode that bullet train and how it really felt and all. Then I also shared my experience about the FIFA World Cup in Russia, and he got to know from me how he can actually take the Aeroflot Airlines to travel at a much cheaper rate to Moscow instead of spending a lot of money on that. So this kind of exchanges that happen with your couchsurfing host and also the couchsurfing guest, this is something which both the host as well as the tourist who is coming over is looking for. Before I was supposed to leave his place, he showed me a place on the wall where where the other couchsurfers who had come to stay at his place had dropped some kind of a message by writing on that wall with a pen, like a person from Miami had drawn a beach kind of a stuff. So I also made a drawing of our Howrah Bridge, which is very famous in Kolkata, and these kind of messages were written on the wall. I also wrote it, so it will be there in his memory for a long time that yes, someone from India, someone from Kolkata had come and stayed at my place. We had shared some experiences, and we had a good chat over a cup of coffee. So this is something very special. This you don't really get in any hotel room. Another thing is that these couchsurfing hosts actually are really very helpful. They can go to any extent to help travelers coming over. For example, I will tell you about Michael, who is going to be my couchsurfing host today. I am going to introduce you guys to him later when I meet him in the afternoon. But actually he had offered to come to the Colombo airport because he didn't know that I would be staying at Colombo. He thought perhaps I would be coming directly to Kandy from the airport itself. So first he asked me whether he should come to Colombo to pick me up. Just imagine someone coming to a different city altogether just to pick a person who is going to stay at his place and bring him to his home. So this is the extent that couchsurfing hosts can go to. Not all, but many will still do it, and you can get to know a lot of other local stuff which otherwise you don't read about on the internet or stuff. For example, yesterday Ruwan told me about a place for me to go and hike tomorrow. Like tomorrow I had planned to go to Sigiriya. I will still be going, but I will be doing a different hike and not the Sigiriya Lion Rock, because it will save me a lot of money. So this I had never read in any place on the internet or watched any video on YouTube. These kind of things will always be, if you stay with a local, as they say, do as the locals do. So when you're staying with a local, you get to know about these things, and it is really helpful both for the sake of saving your money and as well as for the improving your experiences. Temple of Supreme. So now that I have shared all the positive aspects of using couchsurfing as one of the platforms for finding accommodation, I think I should also be sharing the downsides of using couchsurfing. Otherwise, it might not be fair, because if I am telling you about a kind of platform, I should be focusing on both the positives as well as the negatives. So if you are wondering what this place is behind me, it's actually the Kandy Lake. So I have been exploring the city from the morning, and right now I am here in Kandy Lake. So coming back to the topic of couchsurfing, yes, there are a few negative aspects of using this platform as well, and by now you might have had this question in your mind that how safe is it to use couchsurfing, because you have to stay with a person whom you do not know from before. He is absolutely a stranger to you until the time that you actually go and meet him. So how confident can you be before deciding to stay with him or her? Because a lot of people whom I told about this app, they definitely asked me this question, that are you sure about staying with a person whom you do not know from before, because how do you ensure the safety? So yes, I would like to say that there have been incidents, both minor and major, in the past relating to this couchsurfing platform, which are kind of unwanted experiences. but those are, say, out of 500 good positive stories about this platform, maybe 3 or 4 negative stories are there as well. So a minor one can be like, say, if you are going to a host's place someday, and on the very same day your host tells you that he is unable to host you that day because he has some unavoidable work or unavoidable circumstance that he has to attend, which is why he cannot host you. So that type of a situation is it creates a lot of hassle for the travelers to find a temporary alternative accommodation on the spot then and there. And the major ones can include like incidents of theft and all, they have occurred, but those are very rare. But having talked about the downsides of using this platform, there are also ways in which you can definitely ensure that your stay in a couchsurfing with a couchsurfing host is going to be a good one. And I am going to share this tip. Make sure you keep a note of them, because if you practice these small tips that I am going to share, you will definitely be ensuring that your stay with a couchsurfing host is definitely going to be a fruitful and worth remembering. So the first thing you must make sure is setting up your profile the right way. By doing it the right way, I mean that you have an option to add both a profile picture as well as another set of pictures if you want. So make sure you add enough number of photos on your profile so that your profile looks authentic. Because when we are talking about safety, it is not just for the people like me who are going to stay at another couchsurfer's place, but it is also as a couchsurfing host, it is also important to ensure that the person they are hosting at their place is an authentic one. So the more number of pictures you add on your profile is it's going to look more genuine to them, and the chances of them accepting your couchsurfing request also increases. Apart from pictures on your profile, also you need to pay attention to the description that you are adding to your profile. For example, if you go to couchsurfing, there is an option where you have to mention it's like about me. So you have to mention who you are and everything that your interests are and things like that. So make sure you write enough information over there so that when the couchsurfing host is going to read through your profile, he knows exactly who you are and what type of a person you are. So if there is a match of interests, only then he will accept your request. And apart from that, also the things you write on your description, on your profile description, that is the only piece of information that you are giving to your host, because your host doesn't know you from before, has never seen you. So only after reading through your profile, he will get to know whatever he wants to, and then he will going to take a call whether he is going to accept your request or not. So both your profile photos as well as your description are equally important. Up next is how you should contact your couchsurfing hosts. So basically, always remember this, always send personalized messages to your hosts when you are trying to request them in order to let you stay at their place. Do not send a message like, hey, I am Alankar, I am coming from India and I am going to stay at your place on so and so date, because you must know this thing, because since you are not paying them any stuff, or you are not giving any other value other than the experience that you are going to give them, why should they be hosting you? Because they are not taking any money from you and things like that. So you must make sure that you tell enough about yourself and you send a proper message to your hosts, so that after reading it, they know that yes, this person is interested to stay with me, and it would be interesting on his behalf or her behalf as well to accept your request and stay with you. For example, yesterday when I and Ruwan, my couchsurfing host in Colombo, were having a chat, he said that after reading my message, he was interested to meet me. Otherwise, if I had sent a simple message which I would have copy pasted to 100 other hosts, then perhaps he would not have accepted my request. So this is very important when you are doing so. And if a match occurs after you have sent a proper personalized message, it is highly likely that the match has occurred and they have accepted your request because it's a match of interests and not because of any other unnecessary reasons which might lead to unwanted situations in future. Also make sure that you get your account verified. On couchsurfing, if you pay, I think around 400 to 500 rupees, your account is verified for a lifetime. It is not a monthly or a yearly plan. Once you pay that certain amount of money, most probably it was 400, you get lifetime validation of your account. And send requests to hosts who have their account verified. Do not send requests to other hosts who do not have their account verified. And also, before sending messages to your hosts, make sure that you read all the references on their profile. try sending messages to hosts who have a minimum of 5 to 6 references, because and never send a request to a host who has got 0 references on their profile. By that way you are not sure whether that host is authentic or not. But if there are a lot of reviews are present in a host profile, you can be rest assured that that host is an experienced one and is hosts other couch surfers around the world pretty often. So that way you can be assured of being safe. And finally, after the match occurs, after your host accepts your request, make sure, this is a must, you must make sure that you chat enough with those people either on the couchsurfing platform itself, or you might ask them for their WhatsApp numbers like I did, and message them on WhatsApp and talk to them enough before you are completely sure that yes, this person these people who are hosting you are genuine and they are having a good chat with you before you are going there. If at all in any circumstance you feel that the way they message you or the way they approach you even after accepting your request is something which bothers you, or you are not finding it right, you are under no obligation to stay at their place. So you can cancel at any moment citing any reason of your choice. So make sure you chat with them extensively and decide whether you want to stay with them or not. And lastly, build up your profile. By building up your profile, I mean the more and more you use this platform, the more references from the hosts who are hosting you, they give you references. It's like reviews. So the more number of times you use this platform, the more number of references that you will accumulate on your profile, which will help in future, like when you are going to another country in future and you try and request couchsurfing hosts, they will look at your profile and they will be able to read all those references, and it will be easier for them to decide whether they want to host you or not. And also it will bring more authenticity both to you as well as it will help you in finding a match and getting your requests accepted by those couchsurfing hosts who have a lot of reviews, which means they have a lot of experience as well. Because when you are starting out, the chances of finding hosts who have a lot of experience hosting other couchsurfers is less. As you accumulate more number of references on your profile, more experienced couchsurfing hosts will be hosting you. So if you follow these tips before you send messages, and this is how you build up your profile, you can be you can be using this platform very often and get free accommodation anywhere in the world you are traveling to, and also make sure that you will be safe in the process. So talking more about my couchsurfing host for today, Michael, actually I am very lucky. I consider myself to be very lucky that he accepted my request, because he has his own tea estate. If you know that Sri Lanka is very famous for its tea plantations. So Michael, who actually his home is not in Kandy, it's in Dolos Baj. It's I think 1 hour from here. So he has his own tea estate, tea plantation. So he will actually take me and he wants to show me how tea plantation is done and how the leaves are extracted and all those things. So I'll also be taking you guys around his tea estate tour when I reach his home. So he is on his way now. I'll introduce him to you guys when he arrives, and because he is so experienced, I will also be striking up a conversation with him regarding this couchsurfing platform and what he feels about using it. So make sure you watch this video till the end, because there is a lot more to come, and lot more to come from a much experienced person who has been using this platform for a long time.